Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolfe.
Well, it doesn't take a meteorologist to tell you that we've kind of been lacking in snow, not only for December, but also for the season. We can kind of go back and look at some of our numbers, though, at least for December. We've only seen 2.4 inches of snowfall. Average snowfall for the entire month of December, nearly 10 inches. So we are well short of where we should be, at least considering how much our average snowfall in the month of December is. The last time that we actually had an above average snowfall in the month of December was all the way back in 2016 when we did have around 16 inches of snow. And part of the reason why we have been lacking in so much snow is how warm these temperatures have been really over these last 2 weeks as well. We've seen anywhere from 1 degree above normal to 25 degrees above average. And that included all the way through that stretch of Christmas as well. So we have continued to see these warmer than average temperatures throughout the entire month and definitely over these last 2 weeks. And that even continues as we get into the week ahead, as our average high temperature this time of year is right around 30 degrees. And so we are still going to be above average even through the rest of this week. However, we did see some of that sunshine starting to show up. Some of the breaks in the clouds actually making for some pretty colors off there. Our SkyTrack cameras showing off in the distance at the moment. And we are seeing those temperatures also remaining fairly close to where they are, but that clearing starting to allow those to fall just a little bit. Our temperatures now falling into the low 30s, 35 though still in DeKalb, 34 in Rochelle, 33 in Rockford. Many of our dew points sitting fairly close to where those temperatures are currently at as well. Checking with our weather watcher Terry in Genoa, he is reporting a temperature of 35 degrees, a dew point of 33, winds out of the northwest around 7 miles per hour, and 0.02 of an inch of precipitation from late last night. I mentioned those dew points and being so close to where those temperatures currently sit because as our skies are clearing, temperatures are going to fall, and they get close to that dew point. That might allow for some chance for some fog to develop into the overnight hours. I don't think we're going to be nearly as widespread as what this particular computer model suggests, but I do think there is the chance for some patchier fog to develop across a region as we get into the overnight hours tonight, mainly after midnight going into the early hours of tomorrow morning before it eventually works its way out of the area as we get into the afternoon. That fog does develop after midnight tonight, which actually keeps our temperatures from falling all that far, only down into the mid-20s overnight, as opposed to the lower 20s if we probably did not have the fog and the lingering low-level moisture. Back up to 36 though for the afternoon tomorrow, some afternoon clearing, and then the light snow that moves in late with our next clipper system that is going to dive its way from the north and the northwest. This is what Futurecast looks like as we get into Saturday night and early Sunday morning. We see that weak wave bringing that lighter snow into the region as we get into late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. That does bring the chance for some patches of snow throughout the majority of the day on Sunday. Not all that heavy, but there is the chance for some of that to accumulate right around an inch or so at the absolute most in many areas, mainly on those elevated surfaces and even some of those untreated roadways as well. And I mentioned those high temperatures as we are still going to be above average throughout this entire 7-day forecast, in the mid-30s on Saturday and Sunday, down into the low 30s, and even those overnight lows still fairly mild for this time of year.